It's Bonfire night. It's come round
lovely.
again. It's one of my favourite days of the year. But if you wanted something delicious to enjoy whilst watching your fireworks tomorrow, Juliet Sear is here with just the thing. How gorgeous does this look?
No, it's so... I love it. And the smell just, like, transports me to the fireside.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
We were saying earlier, so if you've had toasted marshmallows on the fire, but the s'mores idea, that's kind of more from the USA.
It's very American, and to be honest, Holly's just Googled s'mores because I'd heard the word, but I wasn't actually sure what they looked like or what they were.
Yeah. So they're like 2 square biscuits, which are graham crackers, really similar in taste to digestives.
Yeah.
And you get your marshmallow, toast it up, and then when you sandwich it between the crackers, you put a square of chocolate, which melts.
It sounds like a really fancy wagon wheel.
It is. That's a good... Yeah,
It's like that.
Now I know what you're talking about. Well, there was something similar in Ghostbusters, actually.
Yeah.
We had the director, or both directors,
Toasted
present.
marshmallows, ready to
Stay
stick on a
Puft
s'mores.
There
You'd be
you
shocked
go.
if your marshmallows did that, though, wouldn't you? Look, they're making one there, look.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, s'mores-inspired pie here. I love s'mores. Like, we always have them. We go to America all the time, so we've been having them all our lives, really. And so it's kind of like a hybrid, or dare I say a pie-brid. So you've got a biscuit base, like you'd have on a cheesecake, first of all. So chill that. Get that ready in your tin. And then we've got a lovely fudgy cake mixture to go inside. So this is basically muscovado, sugar, butter and chocolate, which you just melt together.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to add in, 2 eggs and a couple more egg yolks.
Why don't you put
so you've
4
got-
whole eggs, then? What
It just adds a bit more richness. When you try, it's a very sort of like the egg yolk adds more richness.
Makes
to
it a bit more
it's not quite
silky.
yeah, so it's not so sort of like fluffy like a sponge. It's more sort of like a fudgy.
So you've got
truffle.
2 full eggs and
2 yolks,
2 yolks.
which just is going to add a real sort of like more
Fudgy silkiness.
yeah, and then a bit of vanilla.
That little pot.
I know, it's cute, isn't
That's
it?
so cute.
Yeah. So obviously the 2 egg whites that I haven't used there are going to go into my topping. So just whisk that together, and literally that just goes into the mixture like this.
And away you go. And you don't need to fold that in or anything. You
No,
can quite...
just give it a whisk. It's a really easy recipe.
OK.
And then you just need your dry ingredients. I've got some self-raising flour and a bit more cocoa, so really chocolatey. So just kind of whisk those together first of all. Like that.
Yum.
Yeah, it's so good. And then that just gets sort of whisked in.
And is it important to do it in this order? Like, you can't just whack it all in one big go, can you?
Well, obviously, you need to melt the chocolate and stuff first. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've not tried it the other way around, but it's kind of... As long as you don't
It's just-
over-whisk it so the flour gets too tough, it should be fine.
It should be all right.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's really easy. I mean, you don't need any special equipment or anything. Just kind of bring it together like that until most of the flour's disappeared.
Yeah.
So you've got that lovely fudgy, chocolatey batter there.
Oh, that looks
So that's
good.
your chocolate element. Yeah, it's really tasty.
Yummy.
And
I love the
then
biscuit.
just pop it into your tin.
What biscuit is it in the bottom? Is it just...
Because obviously you can get the graham crackers over here, but you have to order them specially. So digestives are really similar. So I've just blitzed some digestives with a bit more cinnamon, a bit of cinnamon in with that, and some butter, and that's just like close enough to the graham cracker.
OK.
So that goes in there, and then just smooth it out. And now the secret to your chocolate cake is to slightly underbake it. So this is just going to go into the oven on 170 for about 20 to 25 minutes. And what you want to look for is you know when you test a cake in the centre?
Yeah.
So you don't want the knife to come out clean, but not glistening wet. You want it to be fudgy and pasty.
OK, so, all right, got it.
So and then sort of just leave it to cool in the tin, turn it out, and you'll have this, which is your base. So onto the topping. So what I've got here is caster sugar and egg whites. So that's a meringue on the top there, but this is a Swiss meringue. Have you made that before?
No.
A Swiss meringue?
Yeah. So with the Swiss meringue, what you need to do is just have it on heat, and you just literally beat the egg white and sugar until the kind of sugar granules dissolve and bring it to 72 degrees. Then you whisk it as meringue.
How do I know it's 72 degrees?
Use one of
But
those.
you could, just a temp, but I mean... Or you can just feel it with your fingers. It should just be hot. And then just whisk it.
Do you have to be very exact? Is
No,
this like...
I mean, I sometimes don't bring it to that temperature. If you're having raw eggs, you have to be careful who you're serving it to. So obviously you just bring it to that temperature so it's safe to eat.
Oh,
so it's
I
cooked.
see.
And then it's really great because to make the meringue out of that, it's much more stable. You can't really over whip it.
Right.
So you just whisk it to make it just into a meringue. And then it's lovely because you can use it to frost cakes or just have on a spoon and toast
So that's it then cooked? The cooking
then
process is happening in that pot? It's not like
Yeah.
you cook a meringue in the oven?
No. So you can just eat it like that.
I
So
see.
then,
That's
so
clever.
once you've done that, then it's time to go on to your pie. So I've got here, this is my Swiss meringue. So I'm just going to like literally
look
just
at
pipe it
that.
on like this. So just squeeze and lift like this. I mean, how pretty is that?
So gorgeous.
And obviously, so yeah, it doesn't need to go in the oven. That egg is now cooked and it's really lovely and glossy. But if you don't want to do that, you can literally just put rings of marshmallows around that, put it in the oven, warm it and toast the marshmallow.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that
Or-
sounds a bit easier.
Bit easier. Or this is marshmallow fluff. You know
What's-
the stuff you get in the jar?
Oh, you just buy that in a jar.
So, yeah, so you can do exactly like that. It doesn't hold its shape as much, but...
I like having lazy options.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't want to...
Steady on!
Here we go.
Oh!
And then this is the toasted marshmallow element. So just give it a toast. And see, you can do the same with this one. Look at that.
That looks beautiful.
It's absolutely delicious.
Simple as that.
Thank you. Well done.
So,
Put yourself
Tasty.
out.
For details of today's recipe, more delicious ideas from our chefs, download This Morning app.